So I'll go into the tech news side because they are trending because of the tech news. So
tech news is trending.
Yeah, so the tech news itself is trending. So TikTok is trending because Donald Trump has brought it back.
All right.
It was banned
in the US.
Yes, it was banned in the US, but Donald Trump said we have to bring it back. And within a few hours of its ban, TikTok brought a message up on its screen for users to say,
I'm told 170 million people.
Yes, over half of Americans are on TikTok. That's why it's such a divisive issue in the country, because basically 1 in 2 people in America is on TikTok.
Is it the most popular social media platform in the US?
By far.
Serious?
Yeah.
So Mr. Trump brings it back even before being sworn in.
Yeah, he brought it back. So the message when TikTok
how can you bring something back when you're not your president?
But the message on TikTok said thank you to Donald Trump. TikTok themselves said thank you to him for bringing back service. So it's even
before being sworn in.
If when American users open the app, it was a message saying that thank you Donald Trump for your efforts in bringing back the app.
Wow.
And he's also trending not because of just bringing TikTok back. He launched his own coin. Sky is not here, so we can talk about crypto.
He launched his own coin. What was it called?
It's called Trump. So
is that even legal?
Well, these are the questions and these are the things Sky has been talking about, but he's not here, so we'll talk about it. So Donald Trump launched his own coin, and the value flew straight to the moon. A lot of people made money, but now in the last few hours, the value has also dropped 60%. So some of the people made a lot of money. Some of them to have lost a lot of money. So it just shows the wild west crypto is. So Donald Trump is trending for a lot of reasons.
And even with Bitcoin, we're seeing that its value has soared past $109,000 amidst Trump's inauguration.
Okay.
So just with Bitcoin, besides his own coin.
Yeah, I actually bought Bitcoin a few years ago.
All right.
Hey, today's guy is not here, so you're revealing.
No. I was in Canada, so it wasn't in this regulatory market. So.
Baby, fast bank, you're looking for a bank to rely on. Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Wouldn't we say to bank be no lie? Only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking ain't in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no need time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. Me tell me office a chilly, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first. Woo!
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see yeah. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
There's a business in every woman, from the young lady brimming with exciting and novel business ideas to the market queen managing her empire. There's the she architect, quantity surveyor, realtor, business consultant, crafting dreams into reality, and the multitasking mom seamlessly blending work at home. The entrepreneur, meticulously checking stock, to the corporate woman, sealing deals on the move. Indeed, there's a business in every woman. Introducing Telecel Women in Business, our initiative to empower women-led and women-owned enterprises. Benefit from tailored activities, networking, business and technical support, free webinars, trainings, and more. To join this initiative, be a female-led business and a Telecel business customer. Visit telecel.com.gh/business to register now.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Imagine waking up in a beautiful home you can call your own, or watching the value of the plot of land you invested in grow year after year. This 2025, Apollonia City is inviting you to start the year right by making a smart investment in property. Apollonia City offers high-quality real estate that is ever appreciating. At Apollonia City, the value is not just your home or land. It is also the area that surrounds it. Tarred roads with safe speed limits, drainage for even the most punishing floods, and neighborhood planning that ensures your view will never change. Choose any of our serviced or semi-serviced plots or any of our beautifully crafted homes and enjoy up to a 3-year payment plan. Call us on 0275 577 577 or 0542 777 222 and let's help you start the year right.
With the recent increase in electricity tariffs and fuel prices, power, although unreliable, has become expensive, and owning a noisy generator becomes a headache rather than luxury. For an affordable and durable electricity solution, you need to go solar with Translight. Feel the independence, experience the comfort, and be productive. Translight Solar. Wherever there is sunlight, there is Translight. Think solar. Think Translight. Locate us at 98 Boundary Road, East Legon, in between ARS and the American House at the White House bus stop. Visit our website at translightsolar.com. Call us on 0504 249 229 or 0206 542 454 or reach us through email info@translightsolar.com.
Anymore, pop quiz. Are you ready?
Hit me.
Can you give me 3 words that start with omni?
Oh, that's easy. Omnibus, omnipotent, omnibus. The bank with a really nice signboard.
Hey, Radzi, you mean omnibisic. OMNIBSIC. Omnibisic. Let me hear you say it.
Omnibisic.
Perfect.
Is that an abbreviation?
Not entirely. And it's not just a bank with nice signboards either. Omnibisic Bank is Ghana's fastest growing bank with innovative banking products and headquarters in Atlantic Tower at Airport City, Accra, as well as 40 branches across the country. Omnibisic Bank has the final word on excellent customer service delivery in Ghana.
Plus, they have the coolest signboard.
Yes, they do. And the coolest name, Omnibisic.
At your service.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
So it's 30 minutes past the hour of a Citi Breakfast Show. So many things happening this morning. Later today, we expect the final list of minister nominees to be released. And whenever that comes, we'll let you know. We'll be going to Parliament after 9:30 for the vetting of 3 key nominees. Governors Kwame Agboja for roads, Haruna Idrisu for education, Eric Opoku for agriculture. That's also live on Citi FM and Channel 1 television. But let's talk about Affinity. Now, it's an app that makes it easy for you to bank without fees. So imagine banking where you don't have to keep an eye on those extra charges sneaking in. For people like you with big plans, small businesses, side hustles, or just the drive to make things happen. Now, it's about giving you the right tools to keep your banking simple and help you grow. So simply dial *229# to get the app or check out affinityghana.com. With Affinity, you're not just banking, you're in. Now, a couple of quick points to point out to you. Make this holidays unforgettable. Treat your family and friends to a celebration at the African Regent Hotel. Join us daily to delightful drinks, mouth-watering delicacies, soothing melodies in a relaxed atmosphere at unbeatable prices. Take advantage of our special holiday accommodation for a complete getaway experience. We even have a special Friday night called Zong, where you can visit from 6 p.m. for a very exciting, delectable experience. Call us on 0302 765 or WhatsApp 026 826 5386. The African Regent Hotel, simply Afropolitan. Jesus Christo. Simply
thank you.
Afropolitan.
Yeah,
simply Afropolitan. Start the year in style. Win cool cash when you transact in multiples of 200 cities using the Fidelity mobile app, USSD cards, point of sale payments, or GHQR. For every 200 cities transaction performed on these platforms with Fidelity, you'll be entered into a weekly draw to stand a chance of winning cash prizes. That's how to start a new year. Fidelity Bank, believe with us. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Now it's a new year, and some people want to start something new. So you want to do a master's degree. Now, Central University invites applications for this academic year. We have now newly accredited programs for both undergraduate and postgraduate. So, for example, MSc Accounting, MPhil Accounting, MBA in Human Resource Management, that's 18 months. We also have an MBA in Entrepreneurship. And then we have an MBA Finance, MBA Accounting, both 18 months. And then we have an MA in Education and MPhil in the same area. We also have a Bachelor of Public Health and Postgraduate Diploma in Education. So if you want to reset your education, call Central on 0302 70 20 540 or go to central.edu.gh.
Right now, if you're looking for a delicious snack for both kids and adults, please try the Bell Moo flavored milk. Bell Moo comes in chocolate and strawberry flavors, perfect for any time of the day. For bulk distribution, kindly call 0544 33 5900 or 0544 33 5800. Bell Moo is maliciously delicious and another quality product from Bell Aqua. Lead the change with the university built for tomorrow's leaders. Heritage Christian University is set up to provide a missing link in tertiary education through creativity and innovation. Since 2008, what we have done is to provide 450,000 Ghana cedis as startup grants to a number of our students to start their businesses. We are huge on entrepreneurship, technology, practical learning, and professional certification. We are accredited by GTech. We are at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium. So please call this number 054 777 731 or 020 2298399. www.hcuc.edu.gh is the link to visit online. Heritage Christian University, educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. So 2024 was tough for many businesses. Will 2025 be better? Which sectors will attract investments in 2025? Where can businesses find money to expand this year? What new policies will emerge and how will these impact your business this year? For answers and many more, join the 11th edition of Crystal Ball Africa 2025 for answers. The theme is From Challenges to New Opportunities. Date is 23rd January 2025, 9 a.m. prompt. Labadi Beach Hotel is the venue in Accra, Ghana. Don't miss out the chance to network and tap into new opportunities. Register at www.crystalballafrica.com. Our sponsors are Absa Bank Ghana, Deloitte, First Bank Ghana, Labadi Beach Hotel, Aries Properties, Mansa Gold, Kawamoka, and our media partner Citi FM, Channel 1 TV, and Joy FM. This event is powered by AB and David Africa. It's time to maximize and grow your business exponentially. Just ask me, Bisami Mekachel. If you're a shop owner, seamstress, trader, mechanic, or artisan, if you are in a hotel business or hospitality, you own a hospital, or you have a phone, TV, car, house, or any property you want to sell, the Bisame app is here to help you connect to your customers. All you need to do is to register your business, reach more customers, and watch your sales soar high. With the Bisame app, your security is assured. Just locate the item you want to buy from any social media platform. Inform Bisame seller is called to bring the item to the office for inspection before you make payment, and then the item is shipped to you. We have a video call option, so the Bisame app gives you more safety. Download Bisame app on Google Play Store, on the App Store today, and unlock endless possibilities. Grow your business, connect with customers, and enjoy success with ease.
We're still on the tragic incident that occurred at the Anglo Gold Ashanti mine. I'll play you a quick audio where Colonel retired Festus Abuaje has been telling Channel 1 News what needs to be done to deal with this growing risk of clashes between between miners, illegal miners, and security forces.
I think the timing of the incident is quite significant in the sense that it's only a couple of weeks ago since the new administration came into office. But in another context, it also serves as a signal to the government that the mining sector, be they the concessions or be they illegal mining, river bodies, forest reserves, constitute one significant risk that it needs to tackle seriously. That we have allowed that sector to be uncontrolled, obviously for partisan political reasons. And this incident draws attention to the need for the government as quickly or as soon as it can, to set in motion some processes to bring some sanity, some calm, some control, in that area. Now, having said that, when 7, arguably 9, reported by one channel die, I have doubt as to whether the appropriate rules of engagement were used. But 7 captures or 7 fatalities or 9 fatalities is one too many. But because the conflicting narratives, the narratives of the people who have spoken on the ground at Obuasi, admitting that they were going to find something to eat at 10 p.m. and were at a concession carrying hammers, there's something mysterious or mischievous about that. And of course, we've heard from the armed forces saying that they also received fire from pump action guns and they suffered 1 petrol. So when we know what the true narrative is, then we'll be able to discuss whether the use of force, which resulted in 7 or 9 fatalities, is indeed permissible. But on the surface of it, I think a higher threshold of force was used that may not have necessarily or may not have been necessary.
Now, do you think this incident has any impact at all in security as far as mining companies are concerned moving forward?
Well, I think in other reports or reportage, this incident is not this type of incident is not the first. The invasion of concessions is not the first. It's happened before, but I'm not too sure. I can't remember exactly when it happened. When the people found themselves underground in the shaft and were refusing to come to the surface, as was recently, or it's still the case, for instance, in South Africa. So the whole idea is that some sectors of our socio-economic, political existence in this, that we have allowed to go on and on and on out of control.
Could this have been avoided given the fact that this is not the first time such an incident is happening, even at various mining sites across the country?
Well, it could have been avoided if the youth, for whatever reason, exercise caution that hunger and unemployment do not necessarily mean that one can take the law into their hands. And the idea is, if they want to test, and this could be a test case, to test the resolve of the new administration as to whether it might cave in if they went in as they had done before. That test was unnecessary. So the whole importance or significance of this incident is that it draws attention to some of the security challenges that the government must, as soon as possible, address itself. Besides the Boku, conflict, other chieftaincy, today the German people are also calling attention to chieftaincy disputes. This mining sector, the Galamsey, has not gone away. It's only that we have not seen any major incident until now. We are seeing this invasion of the concession, which is an investment that has been made by an economic partner and needs to be protected or safeguarded.
So that was Colonel Retired First Zabuaji highlighting some of the there are issues that have to be dealt with there. And I'll come back to this topic shortly, because as I spoke to the reporter, there appears to be two conflicting reports on what happened. The president has rightly so ordered for a full investigation into the issue, because while the company and the soldiers are saying one thing, the reporter is telling us that the miners are also telling them different things. And in the community, the information they have is that unarmed people were shot, but the soldiers and the company are saying it was a confrontation and there was a shot from the miners first. So this is what we are told. So it's we have to tread cautiously.
I don't know about that.
You sure?
But, no. Two things for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We need to understand why we have these clashes happening
mm-hmm.
at this period.
Mm-hmm.
I told last year when we were having the discussions about illegal mining, Galamsey, just the mining regime and everything, I told you that the danger was that we were going to have clashes, if you recall,
mm-hmm.
Between these so-called informal mining communities or mining groups and the established mining companies, just because of the general situation of their livelihoods
mm-hmm.
and how desperate it had become. And so we're going to get a lot more. Now, if you look at our accounts from the past 2 years, last year alone, there were 7 of those clashes that we could count. Or that we were reported on. To start this year, we've had one that is being investigated, but I think we can safely say there was a clash somewhere. Okay. We also need to fix the bigger problem of the imbalances in the resource-rich areas. And that has been clearly established.
Okay.
You fix that, you don't have persons put themselves in danger
for working for even these formal mining companies.
Exactly. Because there is a certain level of understanding that what we own as a community benefits the community. And again, we've spoken about this. I don't know Obuasi too well. Samens knows Obuasi well. You know Obuasi well. If I look at Obuasi, that digs gold, and anybody who has been to the Republic of South Africa and you visited the city of Rustenburg, and they tell you that in this city we dig this resource here, and in Obuasi we dig this resource here, you ask yourself what happened. In fact, if you look at Johannesburg itself and you look at Obuasi and the sheer value of gold that has been taken from Obuasi, and you look at the state of Obuasi, you will understand where the growing anger is coming from.
Fair enough.
And it is something that needs to be dealt with by the state in its engagement with its partners. It's not something that can just, it's something that traditional authorities as well need to deal with.
So it's a deeper issue.
It's
beyond
a much deeper issue.
One clash. We should look at the various clashes and then the issues around what is leading to this.
Because we've had these clashes, and I told you last year, we will have more. Because it's not like the entities that are removing the resources are getting any poorer. Some of them are getting bigger. They are entrenched in the faces of these persons. Now, what these persons are doing is also not legal. But there's a much bigger problem to be solved before we can even come and deal with matters of legality. Because it will persist. They are not going to stop. I hope you understand. They are not going to stop. 2, to deal with, I also need to ask about why we seem to have so many small arms in the system. Everybody seems to have a gun, especially in those areas. Last week, there was a report that a colleague of ours who works at Multimedia was attacked.
This was actually December 20, but the report came out last week.
Last week, yes, had been attacked. Yeah. I don't know. I hope he's well. But from the reports that we read, it tells you again the lengths to which these persons are willing to go to protect these areas and to engage in these acts.
Yep.
So for me, it's good the president has asked for an independent investigation into the matter. But I also say it has been clear for a very long time what the deeper problems are. Okay. And until those deeper problems are dealt with, soldiers are not going to leave their protection posts at AGA. There's a reason why they are there. No, why were they brought there in the first place?
Clearly there's an insecurity situation.
Yes. Have soldiers always protected AGA? I don't know. Sometimes have soldiers always been there when you go
in and
there?
out.
In and out.
Yeah, in and out.
So depending on the situation they find themselves in, because the update from the armed forces tells us that these were officers from Operation Halt 2.
Yep. The more recent one.
Operation Halt 2.
Not 4BN necessarily.
Yes, not
4BN necessarily.
No. Just they are officers from Operation Halt. What is Operation Halt?
Yes.
Exactly. Everybody knows what Operation Halt is, I'm sure.
Yes. For those who've been following the Galamsey reporting.
Yes. So these were officers from Operation Halt stationed at the mine. So that tells you that the mine has always had concerns about these clashes, and they've been going on for a while.
Yeah.
So they need to fix. I've heard, the other reports about something might have, but I have no evidence.
Governor, the only thing I need to say sort of is that, to be fair, the mining companies do engage these communities. We know the process for which concessions are granted. There are always a community engagement, whether it's Newmont or Goldfields, we do, or Ashanti Gold. We also Anglo Gold. We also have been told that in this specific case, the company has considered about 70% of its concession to the community already.
Yes.
So you're right. There are underlying economic factors which are driving the security issues, some of which are beyond the mining company.
Yes.
So if you look at, for example, some of these companies that operate in Ghana also operate in South Africa and Australia. What tends to happen is that the governments and the laws around the way mining
resources are
allocated are different.
Yes.
So if you have a situation of better governance, better economic governance, generally the poverty that we see in communities in Africa doesn't persist in these places that I'm referring to. So you're right, the nation needs to take a closer look at the way we manage our natural resources, which does not inure to the benefit of those who are within the immediate precincts. Oil, you can say the same as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm saying it's not just the mining company and what it does in terms of community outreach.
Yeah.
The government, and in fact,
that was why I mentioned transitional authority.
We need a national dialogue on resources and how to reallocate them.
Because
we also need a conversation about the regime that we call it the laws that initially sort of the contracts that we sign with the companies through a 30-40 year period. Are these inuring to our benefit as a society?
The reason why I mentioned the traditional authorities is per our law, a certain percentage of the resources are paid back to the traditional authority. I think I need to check my documents. I think it's 10% or something. At what periods are they paid? Are they actually paid? It's because it's paid from the government to the traditional authority. What are they used for? Do we need to increase the percentages? Those are the significant conversations that need to be had around this situation. Otherwise, we'll just keep reporting on there's been a clash between A, B, C, and D, and somebody will get shot, we'll investigate it, arrest a few people, jail a few people, but the clashes are not going away. They will return because the people are also not going anywhere.
So there are economic issues, there are security issues, and there's been an investigation ordered. A quick comment from you before I move to another issue.
I just think that just to add to what you've said is that we mining largely is international business, and so as a country we need to figure out our realities well that we cannot, as a country, deal with international business like we deal with retail businesses. If we are giving out concessions, we need to understand what it means to let out concessions. And if people put in their money as international businesses, the system should be able to protect their investment. I think we can say any and everything. We can't skip this portion. Because it is what actually generates businesses in these areas. Then we can now come to the point that Godfred made in terms of allocation of resources, who gets what and how they are put to good use or otherwise. And I think that's where, but you see, we can't discuss this thing without discussing the security threats that exist for mining companies. Because once they have secured a concession, it has to be protected. Apart from all the issues we are discussing, I think there's a certain prevailing threat to mining companies that doesn't seem to go away. Because frankly, why would a mining company invite the military?
Clearly, the business, the environment has become more risky for them, even security wise.
Exactly. So we need to look at it. I mean, it doesn't give anybody the mandate to be reckless. That point must be made.
No, I think you are so right. You know, I think in Ghana right now, what's happening is that we are in a development stage where citizens are not benefiting from the economic model, and therefore they are agitating. The government also wants investment, and that investment needs a certain assurance to come. So if we can't raise domestic capital, we need foreign investment. Now the question for most developing countries is, how do you balance what the investor needs, the safe environment, the stability, the security, with the resource also being allocated for the community to be happy? That's the main question this government faces. So, and it's funny, just to wrap this up, so it looks like in many sectors the government needs to do a proper national dialogue, because we are going to reset. You formed a constitution review committee to look at the constitution by way of reset. It's very clear that today, during the vetting, the Minister for Education will be asked about free SHS and review of the educational sector. The President has already said we'll review. I think there must be a review also of our mining regime generally, okay, or even resource, because not even mining alone, electrochem, salt. I think where people live and there's a resource close to them, the perception they have about what the resource should do, and so it's gas, oil, you get it. So I feel like there needs to be also a review or some national dialogue around resource extraction. All right,
and appropriation.
Yes. So chiefs, the research people, and the communities and the government must all come together to speak about this.
I think politicians must also be careful about what they promise the communities. I mean, you are a politician, you want to become a member of parliament, and you go promising communities things that don't lie within your power. I mean, even with this Obuasi thing, I've seen videos of politicians who have gone there, making claims that they will fight the people. We are in government, so the government is for us, so we have to do, in the middle of this. See, the presidency has issued a statement. If I were you, I'll wait and take a cue from what the big men up there say before I move. You go and muddy the waters, you make it difficult for us to resolve it.
Very important points. A few additional issues before we move to what else.
It appears it's the global challenge though for many mining companies. I'm looking at the World Economic Forum's platform, and mining companies say their number one risk is the trust deficit they have with local communities. So mining companies have acknowledged for the second year in a row that their trust deficit with affected communities, that is the lack of a social license to operate, is their number one risk. So they may have the licenses,
which is the legal,
but the social license to operate is one of the things that many of the mining communities are dealing with. So you have issues of local employment, local procurement, post-closure plans. I don't know what that means, frankly.
It means when you leave the community, what do you do? Because you've destroyed post-agricultural lands, livelihoods have gone. And I think the points you raised actually are the key subtopics for any discussion that needs to be done, where you're talking about local employment, local procurement. The issue with mining is that what the real value is not just people working in a mine. There are mining services companies, and a lot of the mines need procurement, whether it's food or
transport.
Now, what tends to happen is that a lot of the local communities are not able to take advantage of those opportunities. So one of the things the government could do is to encourage locals along the value chain pipeline from all, because you see, this is the same thing in oil and gas. A lot of people look at, employ my son in a mine. But from cleaning to providing food to safety to explosives, there's a lot. And indeed, I was at a program where they were mentioning the various possible jobs in the mining value chain. One of the things Ghana could have done was to position itself for smaller companies within the locality to raise their level to benefit from those. Because once you add local procurement, people have an ownership. If 30% of the people employed in the mining chain have their businesses in and around the Obuasi area, the community can see it. Do you get it? So, for example, maybe I live at a place close to Obuasi. I go to an Assemblies of God church. My assistant choir director works in a mine. My keyboardist company supplies them with food. My uncle has... Do you understand? When the community begins to feel part of the chain, they will even alert the company that some people have come in to come and attack you. But what we've created is that with our resources, we've created enclave businesses. Right? So that's why in 2011, your economy grew by almost 14%. Nobody felt it. Somebody comes in, puts an oil rig on a sea, he exploits oil, he makes a lot of money, pays government a big tax, and goes away with the rest of the change. Most of the people on are expatriates. That model is 1945. You get it? Now we have people who have PhDs. We also can speak English. Yes, we can bring foreign consultants in. We need a different conversation about investment. The truth is that what keeps Africa underdeveloped is lack of capital. The Western countries still control global capital, and when they deploy that capital is very cultural. The money does what they want it to do. Now, if you don't have a solution to raising capital, you can't govern successfully any small African country, because Francophone countries are upset. A lot of countries in the Congo area, because they cannot see the benefits. A lot of the development of Europe is based on exploiting. You bring the capital in at very low cost, you have a high return, and then you use the money to do what you want to do. Africans are no longer going to accept that, and our leaders have to come up with a new model. China have developed theirs, right? China have a new system of governance where they've used the state to compete for its resources against private capital. But is our state functional? Look at what's happening with our state. We've changed government. People are chasing people out. You can't build a strong state to do economic governance when you are so fickle with policy continuity. You get it? So I think some of our politics impedes the way we manage our state. And if our state is not strong, it cannot regulate properly, it cannot allocate properly, which is why the cycle continues. So this reset thing, this government has a very big job to do. We can only wish them well.
I have a bit to say about that, because especially on what Caleb said about the social license. It is the most important part, because like you said, these people will help you, but the problem is the way mining is now, the way our people mine, the Galamsey people mine, and the mining companies mine, there's too big a technology gap. So they are not even useful to the mining companies, which is why the mining companies, they don't want to invest in training these people, upskilling them, giving them the technology to help them, because they are thinking to themselves, what's the point? It's probably cheaper to bring people in who already know the thing. So I think the part you're saying that they need to work with the local people to give them more jobs, involve them in the process is important. But from the mining company's perspective, it doesn't make sense. The gap is which is where the government has to come in and enforce it and make them do it.
Just to add though that, Bernard, besides the lack of local employment and all of that, the activities of the mines will impact the air quality in the communities where they are mining. Water quality will be an issue, and the quantity of same will be an issue. So while you are looking at all the mining prospects you are looking at, the people are also, besides the employment and monetary gain, are looking at the environmental impact you are having in their communities. So on all these coalesce into the sentiments we see that degenerates the way we see it.
Quarter to 9, Citi Breakfast Show. So much to do today. We're going to Parliament later on. Effective Living Series is also coming up. Crystal Ball 2025 is happening later this week. I'll speak to the organizers, but I just want to get some clarity on the Heritage Caravan, because over the weekend I've had a lot of people call me asking if I could put them on the Caravan, and I said, well, I can't put you on the Caravan because it's not really within my control. And
you are the boss.
I get the sense that generally in Ghana, if you know somebody somewhere, they hope that you can push. But you know, the way that the Heritage Caravan works is that we've announced on air the process. And I do know that quite a number of people have been disappointed because it was very quick. The period with which registrations were done and then opening for payments and then the payment being over has left a lot of people unhappy. So I brought Samens in to just explain a couple of things. Samens, so last year as well, the Caravan actually, when we announced it, payments happened in a very short time.
2 weeks, yes.
So how come, but this year, the payment was 2 days.
2 days, yes.
So is it just the increase in demand? How come we've the how do I put it? The reaction time was so short. What's going on?
I think it's just expectations and what the Heritage Caravan has come to mean to many people, pushed largely by people watching on TV or previous experiences, and also word of mouth, and how the thing has trickled down to Ghanaians living outside of Ghana and all that. So I think it's just increased awareness and excitement about the experience.
A lot of people have been asking me why we separated registration from payment, because for some reason people thought that once I have texted or called and my details have been taken, the assumption is that I'm in. Although we said on air a lot that there's a difference. Just talk a bit about why
we have if like a lead time to the event. With that 2 months to the event, we should announce the event, which is exactly where we are. And we normally would announce the event with the rates. This year we chose this route because we still had components of the events we had not resolved in terms of pricing, especially at the hotels. Some of them have had to increase, giving increase of 100%.
Hey, serious?
Yes. And
from last year,
yes. And is the whole haggle between us and some of these hospitality units that caused that gap. So we thought that, okay, why don't we start letting people show their intention, and so you
can also gauge the interest.
Exactly. So while we were still working to
get the right
pricing, we opened it for people to register and indicated that it is your payment that will secure your seat. And so I think it took like another 48 hours.
Yes, so I think Fremal came on Monday or Tuesday to come and announce that registration has opened. Then she came on Thursday to come and announce the payment. And by Friday evening, payment Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I was here Friday and I had said that I wouldn't be surprised if it gets by midday. It will be. When I got to my office, it was done.
So we had more than double the number of people registering for those who actually are for the seats available.
Yes.
Because Frema said to me on Thursday that she had over 250. Meanwhile, we needed how many people?
We needed, okay, so the whole Caravan has a little less than 170 people. So normally between 165 and 70 people on the entire trip.
But this includes workers and staff and security and others.
That's what I'm saying.
So the slots available for people.
Seats available will be, say, 120 seats.
120?
Yes, seats.
My God.
And 120 seats were gone in 2 days.
So is there any way we could have done this to limit the disappointment?
Not in our present circumstance, because people are disappointed because of expectation, not because we did something wrong necessarily, because a lot of people had planned towards it. And if you are filling only 120 seats, definitely people will be some people will be disappointed, whereas some people are happy, So it's just how it is structured.
Is there a way? A lot of people who could not go and say, "Why don't you book me for next year?" And I said, from what I know, it's not possible. But is it possible?
No, we don't book anybody until we announce. You see, your booking is your payment. So, and we don't start payment till this period, leading up to the event itself. We don't. It's not a service we own. It's not a service we control like that. It's a service we create, and there are components in the whole chain that are not under our control.
So because people have, I need to elaborate. So people have said, for example, increase the number of buses.
Okay. I hear that all the time. We have done 5 buses before, and that was our worst nightmare. Wow. You know, there are logistical problems with that. There are hospitality challenges with that as we move outside of Accra. You don't have hotels that can take 200 people at a go like that, unless you spread them maybe 4. There's some towns in that year that we use 4 hotels, and you don't want to do that.
Work. So you always want to keep the team together. So there's a logistical challenge of transport and a hotel.
That's and then it's a financial model that gets to its optimum level with 3 buses.
You've calculated it through using all the formulas.
You move a step, another bus. Per bus, you lose 100,000 cedis.
So
you don't want to go there. So
law of diminishing returns.
Yes.
As soon as you get to a certain point,
because as you know, this is discounted.
Absolutely.
The fares we have given out, every head has a discount or a figure of about between 2,000 and 2,500 discount.
Serious?
Okay. Yes, which we make up through sponsorship. Okay, and you are not going to get another sponsor just because you increase the number of buses. So we like to stick to our 3 buses so that we can underwrite the entire cost of the project, and that's why we limit it to 3 buses. And it's not just 3 buses; it's 3 huge buses and other vehicles to make.
But still, the number of slots is not more than 120. Cannot be.
No, to be sold. No, yes. we can never
cannot go
beyond
120 slots.
Yeah,
wow.
We can go beyond 120 slots.
So if the hotels improved, so let's assume in the next 4 years you had more capacity in hotels across the country, could that increase the Caravan?
Not necessarily. Because
so it's not just a hotel issue.
Because there's a financial bit to it.
Okay.
You see, now maybe the question that you just asked is, okay, if you are charging people the full cost of doing this trip, okay, would the hospitality issue is resolved? Can you increase? And the answer is yes. You understand? Because see, it is 12,000 cedis
for 2 in the hotel.
For 2 in the hotel. Okay. The hotel rates, as you know, $120, $100. Some places $150 a night.
So multiply that by 7.
Times 7. And you are paying 12,000 cedis. You know what you've just done.
So if you now 120 times 7, it's just a hotel sleeping in for that night. We haven't added food.
You have not added food. You haven't added transportation. You haven't added entertainment.
And then when we go to the tourist site, sometimes they pay.
We pay.
So
pay
you don't
everything.
pay anything else.
You see, once you get on the bus, you don't pay anything else. Except the only thing you take care of is your lunch. Now your lunch, because normally during lunch hours we are in transit and we don't control.
So we do breakfast and dinner.
Yes. You know, and even what we do is that we collaborate. Like last year, Dr. Gideon Boako gave us lunch in the Tano area over the former tourism minister gave us food in Sekondi, Ejapa Mesa,
Eastern Regional Minister
Sete Champo.
Indeed, I got a call this week that somebody wants to host us at Tokurano.
Tokurano. So we don't promise them, but we end up giving. So this is it. You don't spend a peso once you get on. So you know, and it's actually one of the reasons our tour companies are not able to replicate these things in the same manner as we do it. I mean, look, carrying 160 people of varying backgrounds, different
for 8 days.
And these are people you don't know before. Is a huge task for us.
Yeah. So this is what I would say. It's disappointing, but for now the constraints are quite a lot. And for those who are on, they are very happy that they are on. So we need to balance the disappointment. Now we cannot promise that next year you will be on. We will do our best, but depends on other factors beyond our control. As you said, hotel, and indeed I was at a program last 3 weeks and we're talking about the hotel prices in Ghana, that if we really want tourism to be the lead driver of economic development, we have to do something about quality of service in our hotels and the cost. Because I'm told that comparatively, whether it's Mauritius or Senegal or South Africa, Ghana's hotels are very expensive. And our standards are not up to scratch, particularly even outside Accra.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot that needs to change within the system for the Caravan to and the truth is that it's an annual event. So you get your chance. 2 final points. Why can't you do it more than once a year? Because there are people who say to me, look, in March we are in school, whatever, we prefer August or something. You know, I know you tie it to the Heritage Month.
Yeah.
But what if people wanted a Christmas Caravan? Could you do it?
Well, it's something that people have thrown at us over the last 5 years, I must say. We just don't have the resources to do this twice a year. We are a media house. We are not a tour company. And so to be driven into that space is abandoning your first love. It comes with a lot of things, a lot. In fact, it practically putting everything on hold to attend to people for 1 week. And we also depend largely on sponsorship to get these things done. It's very difficult to come by sponsorship for projects like these. You know, what people, there's the ethical consideration of sponsorship is also another issue. For instance, this year we have Ghana Tourism Authority partnering us as they have done. Sponsors include NLA, National Lottery Authority. Hollard Insurance has been constant. For a few years, Omni Basic Bank has been constant. This is their second, Now tell me about this. You do another one in 6 months' time.
Are you the same sponsors for different
and you use their competitors? There's an ethical question. So what we are saying is that for me, and this is not the station's policy, but I think that same as we have done projects in the past, we did Mogo. Over time, other stations, other media houses also came into the space and tried. We've done the food fair, Back to Your Village food festival. Other stations have tried. We have done Heritage Month. Now every station is doing Heritage Month. You can call it whichever name. All I'm saying is that it's a good opportunity for other stations to also plug in. It's not for only Channel 1 or Citi alone to do. It's bigger than us. This is promoting the real essence of Ghana. This is a Ghana experience we are selling.
It's not easy.
It's a Ghana experience we are selling. I mean, you have people who say, look, I've lived in Ghana all my life. I have never been to the Bono region before. And so this is a good opportunity for us. But how can only Channel 1 or Citi FM put this together?
Because it's very difficult
to satisfy everybody.
The vibe with Channel 1 is also...
It's very difficult. But last point though, so for those who are on, for those who manage to get on, what is your promise to them for this year? Because the people are eager to go, not for a good reason, because they experience a good experience, right? So let's focus now on those who are on and what you are hoping to give them this year.
Okay, now our friend best man just sent me a message that he said you forgot, even on the bus there are small chops and drinks for free.
My favorite part of the Caravan is the bus.
Because see, the Caravan, because it's within the tourism space, people interpret it as sightseeing. I mean, the sightseeing is not actually giving prominence like the road experience
on the road,
and then the on the bus experience, which is rich, so rich, meeting new people in 2 days.
Bus.
Say again.
Brass band, there'll be music and things.
I'll get to that. Meeting new people, and in 48 hours becoming family with people you didn't know before. And some of these relationships that they have built on the buses have extended and lasted for 8 years. Even people who met on the buses are able to do trips to visit some of the people they met in other countries, in Canada, in the UK, and in the US. All they did was they met on the bus. So it's creating new relationships and networking, and that is very rich. There's entertainment. This year we have a resident band.
You are traveling with a band?
Yes, we have a band. In
My
Chinchin band.
No, when I was to me, Bluetooth count.
My God.
In Chinchin band, God don't say anything.
You mean you are adding a band?
No, in Chinchin band.
No, I want to speak in tongues.
No, restrain.
In Chinchin band, Ghana's best band.
Yeah.
It's there.
You have been gone.
The band is with us for all 8 days.
God.
And they are performing. They are doing dance. They are doing dance. They are performing.
All right.
You know the problem you have here.
Yes.
So which bus gets the band?
No, the band. In fact, the band they will be moving from bus to bus.
Okay, because if you don't put the band in one bus, we'll all jump in that bus.
The band. What they'll do is that a number of the Chinchin boys are also part of the Legon Pamoy.
Yes, that's right.
Music band.
Yes, Pamoy band.
So on the buses they'll be doing the Pamoy music and singing, and then when we reach our destinations, they will do the proper jamming. So we have about 3 or 4 sessions throughout the,
Well, some people are also promising something. So my friend, one of my colleagues, is telling me to tell you that if you pass through Bui Dam, they have a grilled pork experience for you guys.
Actually, Bernard, they have hosted us, I think, twice.
Fried yam is waiting for you guys.
Come on. We authority has hosted us before.
Because we are also looking at places of interest, not just like tourism related, but the Bui
I'm not so sure whether this year we are going.
No, but they said the yam is there, so if you come, you'll get it. So if you don't come, it's your own problem.
Come on.
The road linking Tamale to that side, we avoided it last year because the year before, a road that used to take us, say, 4 hours, took us almost 7 hours because the road has gone back. So we try to avoid some of these things. But I need to confer with my boss, Mr. Omanim and Sabonsu, on this particular issue. Yeah.
So what's the security like?
We take security very seriously. And so we partner with the Ghana Police Service. And normally each bus has 2 policemen, armed policemen, I must say, and then they also have plainclothes policemen. A lot of you have seen some of the people, but you don't know that they are plainclothes policemen on there. There have been times that we have also sought the help and support of the military, especially when we get to Tamale and beyond. We have done that when the military has also given us backup support.
So we are secure?
We believe so. In terms of health, we always have a medical team on board. Doctors.
This is part of the people who are part of the organizing team.
Exactly.
So they are on the bus, but they are not customers who are paid.
No.
It's our cost.
Yes.
So
So
just let people know it's not easy like that.
We have health and safety. We have medical officers. We have supporting health practitioners and all that. So,
all right. Thank you. For me, I just want to add that look, we are doing our best to we see a lot of things about mini sectors. Some of the activations we do, they give us a chance to actually improve a sector and to also see real time what happens in places. So whether it's the food fair or the heritage caravan, right? We talk a lot about what has to happen. This is where we get to experience tourism face to face. So we can have a real life experience to use to inform policy as well.
Sure.
So people should forgive us if there are any problems with this, because trust me, you can say anything you want about something. It's when you do it that you actually see how the thing actually is. And so these events we organize are part of our own way of enriching our knowledge about things we do. Go for it.
I wanted to ask Amens again. I started getting the feel like from last year or last 2 years that there's a massive diasporan interest now.
Yes.
This, if the Ghanaians don't take care, you can
year,
do 120 people from diaspora. The Ghanaians are not careful.
This year, you'll be shocked that we have Indians in it.
Indian people on the board.
Yeah.
My goodness.
How are they hearing about this? And
through their Ghanaian friends, through their Ghanaian friends, and mostly those from North America are people who've had prior experiences, and then they go and.
Can you consider a diasporan caravan separate from a locally based caravan, so that you can do 2 in a year?
No, that takes something away from it.
So they have to mix.
The mix is very important.
Thank you.
You see, because we know ourselves, and it can be so bad that we take certain major things for granted. For instance, if you shift from the Bono belt going up north, you know the distances are very they're long, and we don't have facilities, washroom facilities, and so when people want to pee or something, we have to stop by the roadside. And when you stop by the roadside,
straight,
you have to enter the bush.
Either
for 1 or 2, I must say. Okay. Now,
you have to be brave.
We who live here will see this as normal. But when the diasporans come,
Susan can believe it.
They get excited, not because of the fact that they have to enter the bush. They are excited that we are happy.
Doing this.
And so at times they overdo it. But so it's like you enter the bush. So now what we do is that we always have cover cloths, and then they themselves will hold the thing as well. Females will go this way, male will go this way, and then they will hold the thing in the bush, and then they will be taking turns. I mean, these are things we don't share, but these are the realities. You know. So if you put only diasporans, I don't think they'll get it.
Now, for me, and I'll add to what the point Bernard was making about how this brings for some of the things, the real life difficulties. Because if you take a road trip in some places, if you got to a certain point of the journey, you would see a rest stop. 1, 2, rest stops are fairly common. Either you use a filling station,
I've done road trips in Canada all the time.
Or as soon as you get to the outskirts or you're entering the outskirts of a major town or a city, the tourism authority or the tourist whatever there, or the local tourism authority has a place where you can actually stop for people to rest, stretch themselves, ease themselves. You can even pick up some souvenirs of the place you are about to enter. But for some reason, we don't have that on our road. So perhaps it's also something that the Ghana
policy thing. No, I think it goes beyond the Ghana Tourism Authority. It's a national policy thing where we place tourism as a country in the space of in that spectrum of economic activities. Because if we don't see tourism as a major earner, we can't command investment into that space. Look. This is the country where we build bus stops. Bus stops, just bus stops. Vehicles they actually stop 10 meters after the bus stop.
Yeah.
And then you go to the bus stop proper, people have come to park their things there and they are selling or they are sleeping.
It's serious.
So go and put a rest house somewhere and leave. Come and see who will be inside.
We have a major problem with governance and social services
and
in
just
the country.
to add to the rest stops that Godfrey was talking about, when you go to those rest stops, filling station, there's restaurants, there's bathrooms, there's different things. So even the restaurants, you can think about just job creation on a small scale. There's a few people will be employed and that kind of thing. So it adds something. And even the towns, they'll have a sign.
So his point is like, make it a policy. If you say every bus stop must have a toilet or something like that.
Like what we have on the Kumasi Road, Champion. Is it Champion? Is it Champion?
It used to be
after
there is
the Bonsu Junction,
and then there is
Linda Door.
Linda Door
Even Linda Door.
Yes.
So
Champion.
everyone,
you have a rest stop there.
Yeah. So you should have rest stops which are like, but it should be policy driven because it's a social service. It shouldn't be private because private sector only go to where there's money. Public sector can say. Even partner with filling stations and
that's
say,
the point I was going to make.
Add 2-3 toilets to every filling station, which may be maintained by a joint fund. So NPA, you're right. There's something we need to do from a policy perspective to make this happen.
And to the tourism part, the small towns, if they have an attraction, the small town, they'll have a sign. So you know that this town, home of whatever.
Yes, we tried that. We tried that.
And people have the idea.
We actually did it. What we did was that we set up the signboards for most, not just Paga, almost every town that there's at least in the Caravan I was on in 2019. The part of the project was that when you get to a town, so when you get to Damongo, welcome to Damongo. This is where you have the Larabanga Mosque. We did it for all on our own. We just put a tourist site ahead.
But the challenge is bigger than we all think.
Charlie?
Because see, whereas we sit here or wish that these things could be done in more professional manner, some of these tourists attractions are actually not controlled by the state, and the indigenes have held on to it. They can't develop it, but they will not let anybody venture. You can go to where we have the Nzulezu. Is it Nzulezu?
Yeah.
You know, they've tried whatever. The thing is not developing because the indigenes want to hold on to their stake. You go to look all the places. This is the story.
The ownership is another issue.
Ownership is a problem. The community believes that it's for them, so they'll do what they want to do with it. I think that GTA has succeeded with places like Kintampo to do a proper collaboration and a few others, but most of them are largely reeling from mismanagement.
So, it's the
lack
same
of understanding.
thing we are discussing in mining. See, you own a waterfall in your community. You can put area boys to manage it and control it and not get anything from it. An investor can come with money to say he wants to develop it. It will generate revenue for the state and give a good experience, but locals will not feel ownership. Remember last week we discussed something. For any model for a government, you need 4 things: efficiency, effectiveness, accountability, and ownership. Now, the ownership problem is always an issue because sometimes the ownership can be in direct opposition to efficiency and effectiveness. So we have to make a decision. Are we going to have high-level, world-class, community-owned tourist fights as practice? Something has to give, because if I'm going to bring money to control that thing, I have to bring some people to come and run it. Do you get it? So if I'm going to bring $2 million, I may get the best property manager from South Africa to come and run it. And if he comes, it may mean 3 or 4 locals may not get work. Okay, but locals who can say Shikwan Wanoni will run it, and they run it the way they run it and not get anything from it. We have to find a way, and that's why we elect government to think of the best model to use, whether it's for mining, whether it's for tourism. It's going to be a problem for us for the next decade. And if we don't think about how to manage ownership with effectiveness and efficiency, attracting the right investment by running it in a competitive way, we will come back to this discussion, and we don't want to keep doing that.
Bernard, just a quick perspective, and I'm dealing with the cost and accommodation. Someone was talking about the fact that a night in one of the hotels could be $120. If you multiply that by 7, that's $840. To Ghana cedis, that's 12,553. So just accommodation, you are done.
Yes.
So the cost of accommodation in hotel chain, it's a thing that we need to look at, but it also tells you just how good the Caravan is. If you are spending 12K for all that food experience and all, it's great.
And the hotels also are not able to price below. Sometimes they say because they don't have the level of frequency in engagement.
But even those who have, Bernard, the cost of power, the cost of electricity
to run a hotel
in Ghana
can collapse your whole business.
No other country has the same cost.
We haven't even added taxes, so just the cost of power.
And now come back, cost of power and the taxes that hospitality companies pay.
It's killing.
The tax, if you put all together, it's like from here to Nsawam.
It's almost 40% of the cost buildup. It's serious. Let's wrap up with a few comments. I'm going to talk to you about a big event happening actually this week.
Okay, so this one says, please license this model and sell it to interested organizers so that they can use your branding and goodwill while you get paid for it. Bernard, please let the heritage caravan pass through Enum, the hometown of Mrs. Theodosa Salome Abena Kumia Okun, the designer of the Ghana flag. This is from Kusia Kumbrimpong Kumisa Siriku, the 8th Omahini of Enum is ready to host you. Okay, there's somebody saying that.
Right.
We have another offer from a company called North Shore Garments on the Savelugu Road. They say they can host us to look at their facility and give us lunch. So this year the office there plenty.
Frank from Accra says, I think Citi has done a great job to show that there is a great demand for this caravan thing. I suggest Citi encourage tour companies to step in on their own or to partner to make as many tours as possible. Bernard, let me appreciate Samen's first responses to your interview questions this morning. Realism and honesty at play, under promise and over deliver, and not over promise and under deliver. Bernard, somebody in the society we established a tourism firm to do this food. I know you don't.
Now, quick, I'll go to the first one. I think the first one.
The license this model and sell it to interested organizers.
Like a franchise?
That would be too. That's the point I made. Truth is, look, this is a high contact. It's a high contact service. It's not a service that can be just giving.
I'm carrying traveling bags. So.
I'm carrying bags.
No. I'm on the Caravan carrying traveling. It's not
high contact.
You don't know
service. If you understand
they don't realize that the office delivery becomes empty when we are doing it.
It's serious.
Yeah, it's a high contact service that you can't joke with, and you can't just seed it out because it's not Coca-Cola that you just give the franchise to somebody, but the components of the service delivery. That's why Bernard will carry a traveling bag. I will be pushing people's bags.
Yes. Now get on the bus. We have to move.
Everything.
We have to move now.
You don't eat until all the patrons have eaten.
I'm telling you.
You don't go to sleep until everybody is sorted out to their rooms.
Meeting at 11 p.m. People are sleeping. Then you wake up at 4 to wake them up.
You are the first to wake up. You are the last to sleep for 7 days running. So it's heavy. The logistical challenges or the makeup of the logistical thing is something serious.
But I want to thank all those who express interest. Apologize to those who couldn't get on. We'll do better next year. This year, those who are on, you have a better experience than you had last year.
Come on.
So thank you for that. I'll be back with a couple of quick interviews. And then I'm not sure if I can bring you the on-air series for the Effective Living series today for a number of reasons. But exciting news for all University of Ghana students. Prudential Bank makes fee payment easy. You can now conveniently pay your fees by dialing UG USSD short code *772 *100# or via the UG online payment portal. African students can also make payments seamlessly with the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, the PAPS. Alternatively, you can visit Prudential Bank nationwide to pay your fees. Open an account at any Prudential Bank today and receive a free MasterCard. Terms and conditions apply. Call 0551 858585 or 0302 750420.
And your favorite pharmacy, Top Up Pharmacy on Osu Oxford Street, has moved, but we are still on the same street. The Top Up Pharmacy Osu branch is now located at the Top Up Biz Hub on Oxford Street, adjacent to KFC office and opposite Omni Basic Bank. We are open 24/7 with a pharmacist available at all times. We offer nationwide delivery. Place your order and we deliver to the comfort of your home or office. Contact us now 0242 226 555 0501 481 609. If you can't find it at the Top Up Pharmacy, then it's not available in Ghana. Top Up Pharmacy, whatever you need 24/7. Exciting news. Afishapa, give your eyes the best attention and care it deserves this year. Don't play with your eyes, cry. We have more than 34 years of experience. I'm talking about Roberts and Sons Limited Optical Services. We continue to offer a comprehensive eye care service, which includes all-day comprehensive eye testing with modern equipment, eye specialist services, pediatric eye care services, visual field testing, optical coherence, topography scan, all your eye care needs. We got you covered. Visit Roberts and Sons Optical in Adabaka, Osu Dankwa Circle, Tema Community 6, Waja, East Legon, Adenta, and Kumasi. Numbers to call 0302 222-601 or 050-151-9111. Visit us online www.robertsandsonsoptical.com, on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Robert and Sons Limited, Robert and Sons Optical Services, seeing is believing. Now, if you're looking for litigation-free land, please contact Royal Kingdom Estate. Specialities in land acquisition, construction, design, property management, and more. Properties are in prime areas like Accra and Ebri. Land starting at 90,000 Ghana cedis with flexible payment plans. We have affordable homes ranging from 2 bedrooms, premium furnished apartments for short rentals in East Airport. Call us 055 755-909 or 0272-778880. Find us at Cantonment opposite Soul Clinic International. Info at Royal Kingdom Estate is the email address. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Central University, Ghana's premier private university, invites applications for admissions for the 2024-2025 academic year. Apply now to enjoy our flexible payment terms. We also have exclusive discounts for all alumni, ICGC members, ICGC pastors, and their children. Call us on 0307-020-540 or visit www.central.edu.gh for further details. Central University, raising transformational leaders through faith, integrity, and excellence.
The Heritage Caravan 2025 is officially sold out. Thank you for your patronage. Now get ready for an unforgettable adventure with the Heritage Caravan 2025. We will experience a cultural revelation as we travel through 14 unique regions, each offering a deep dive into the nation's history, traditions, and natural beauty.
An opportunity to see Ghana in a more beautiful, and the people, the connection, incredible.
From Sunday the 2nd of March to Sunday the 9th of March 2025. Pack your bags and let's set off on the road trip of a lifetime with an unmatched opportunity to explore landmarks, taste authentic Ghanaian cuisine, experience the arts, to network and to connect with the people who make Ghana truly special. This is more than a tour. It's a chance to experience the soul of Ghana, to witness its growth and to create lasting memories.
The places we visited, the road trip itself was awesome.
Everything was good, yes. Even the Bui Dam was very educational.
Follow all Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM social media handles for updates with the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2025. The Heritage Caravan 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV in partnership with the Ghana Tourism Authority, with support from 97.3 Citi FM, and proudly sponsored by the National Lottery Authority and Hollard Insurance. Terms and conditions apply.
When you hear that sound, it can only mean one thing. It's the sound of excitement, the sound of milky goodness. It's the unmistakable sound of rich, creamy deliciousness. The sound that lets you know that the original milky richness awaits. The milky richness you can find in every bite of Munchie Milk Shortcake.
With its unique blend of milky richness and carefully selected ingredients, Munchie Shortcake is crafted from an original age-old recipe to delight your taste buds. If you're looking for pure satisfaction and the authentic taste of original milky richness, it's time to grab a pack of your favorite biscuit, Munchie Milk Shortcake, today.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, so what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It'd be very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement, unbeatable quality, made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
Protect yourself from germs and bacteria with confidence. Cleanse hand soap effectively kills 99.9% of germs with every use. Perfect for all your hand washing moments throughout the day. Available in a variety of variants and delightful flavors. Choose Cleanse for yourself, your family, and friends. Make Cleanse your daily essential. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
That's clean soap. Clean. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
(25:09) in the year 2025. Citi Breakfast Show live. We're talking today. We're not going to bring you Effective Living series for a number of reasons. The vetting has been pushed forward. We're going to cross over shortly, but we want to talk to friends from AB and David. Why? Because Crystal Ball Africa is in its 11th year, and it is a very exciting, thought-provoking platform for business minds, strategists, legal people to come together and think about the next year in a very unique way. I have in studio Augustina Dan Brimer, an associate at AB and David Africa, who is the practice group coordinator for banking and finance practice. Augustina, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I have my old friend Paulina Anaman, associate AB and David Africa for the green transition. Charlie, your post is big, and sustainability area. Messi. Paulina, welcome to the show. Pauline.
Thank you, Bernard.
All right, wonderful. So let's talk about Crystal Ball Africa. What kind of event is it for those who don't know what it is?
Okay, so Crystal Ball Africa, as Bernard has already mentioned, is organized by AB and David Africa. We are a Pan-African business law firm, and so we are very much interested in the success of projects and businesses in Africa.
Okay.
So at the beginning of each year, in January specifically, we organize the event to bring together business leaders, policy makers. We bring together professionals from various sectors to look into the year and see what opportunities there are, strategize for businesses to take on the challenges for the year. So this year, that is exactly what we are trying to do, and the theme is from challenges to new opportunities.
Okay,
we've seen how businesses have suffered the past year all across Africa, macroeconomic challenges, and they are bouncing back. So how do we strategize? It is time to look into the future, into the new year. So we are looking at what opportunities there are.
So you are looking into the crystal ball.
Precisely.
Okay, so now tell me about this event. Is it the first time? How many years have been doing this? Some background.
Okay, no, this is not our first time organizing the Crystal Ball. This is actually the 11th edition, and we've been doing this since 2015.
Wow.
And it's been organized by AB and David
for the past
Africa.
11 years.
For the past 11 years, yes.
Why on earth is a law firm, with all the problems you have to solve in the courts and in the corporate rooms, why are you organizing such an event? Are you business consultants too?
We are a business law firm,
okay,
and we believe it's part of our responsibility to draw the attention of businesses and policymakers to things that will affect their business in the course of the year. So working with businesses and policymakers, governments, to shape the future of the continent is second nature to us, and this is why we do it.
Interesting. So this is within your alley. So Pauline, let's talk about who can attend this event. What kind of target audience are we looking at?
We are looking at business leaders, policymakers. We are looking at people who are passionate about Africa's economic future.
Okay.
People who want to impact the economy, create jobs, make money, strategize.
So like me.
Like you.
Like money,
Yes, so we are looking at all of these people who are passionate about Africa's economic growth and those who are responsible for fostering the conducive environment for businesses to thrive. You are all warmly welcome to our event.
You talk about it as a Pan-African event. You describe yourself as a Pan-African law firm. So we are not just limiting ourselves to Ghana
at all,
or even West Africa.
No,
talk to me about that.
This is an Africa event. I mean, as a Pan-African law firm, we are found in 6 African countries, including Ghana, and we are even expanding to other African countries. You hear about it later. But then beyond our physical presence in 6 African countries, we also have partners across 30 African countries out of the 55 we have. And so participants are coming from all over the continent. And this year in particular, we will be seeing people coming from Zambia, Uganda, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Eswatini, Tanzania, Kenya,
Wow.
People coming from all over. So
can you go through those countries again?
So people are coming from Uganda, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, of course Ghana. There are Zambians coming, Kenya, Eswatini, which is all Swaziland.
The whole of Africa.
Tanzania, the whole of Africa. This is a Pan-African event.
Are they coming physical or they're coming by Zoom?
Physical, there is no virtual. I mean, no virtual at all this year.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All of these people are coming. How many days is this conference?
How many days?
Yes, it's a one-day conference. It's a day conference.
Yes.
Now, you also talk about exhibitors. So tell me about Augustina. Is it like, what kind of people can exhibit? What kind of products are we talking about?
The exhibition is not just goods. We are thinking services and products. So if you have a service, a product, or a good that you want to be known or attract customers all across Africa, it's very important that you show up to the event, and then this is a place to be, actually.
Wonderful. We're talking to friends from AB and David Africa, who are organizing their 11th edition of Crystal Ball Africa, where we look into the crystal ball to see what's going to happen. Now, there's a very interesting part of that I always associate with, where the managing partner or the founding partner would look into the crystal ball properly and tell you what's going to happen. But that's later on in the program, and I'll be there myself. But how do people attend? How do you register?
You have to pre-register before you attend, and you have to register online.
Okay.
The website is www.crystalballafrica.com.
Okay.
And registration closes today at midday.
Oh no.
Yes, it's been basically on and running.
2 hours. Today at midday is 9:30.
Yes.
So 12 o'clock.
Yes.
Registration closes.
Yes, we want to cater to the audience properly, and so we want to plan properly for the numbers.
So the website is www.crystalballafrica.com. CRYSTALBALL. You don't add Africa.
Africa. It is crystalballafrica.com.
And you register online?
You register online.
Okay.
And there will be no registration at site. After today, there's no registration. So
is there a phone line to register?
There's a phone number.
Okay.
We have a stakeholder relations coordinator. She's called Grace, and you can contact her on 050-9411-336.
Can I register as an individual, or do I need to have a company?
No, you can register as an individual as long as you are interested in the subject matter.
But I also can register my company with some executives.
Yes.
Corporate. So there are corporate registrations available. Can I register to exhibit, or it's too late?
You can register to exhibit, but
as well.
That also would have
time bound.
Yes, you have to finish your registration by today 12.
Midday.
Midday.
Amazing. Now, Pauline, talk to me about the panel discussions and what else should participants expect when they attend this event.
There will be very interesting discussion that is informed by trends. We've done research into trends. One of the key things we'll be talking about is follow the money.
Follow the money.
Basically, we have a partner research firm, Confidant, led by Michael Koto. He's the managing partner there, and he's also a chief strategist.
Did you say Koto? I thought it was Koto. No, but I think the same.
I'm sorry for mispronouncing the name.
No, he's a good friend. Michael Koto.
So you know how brilliant he is, right?
It's amazing.
Very well. So they've done some research looking at the flow of money, and then so he'll provide valuable insights into investments and cash flow trends in Africa.
All right.
And this will provide our participants with indicators as to where investments will be flowing in 2025. And as always, you'll be moderating the very crystal ball session, the last one. What you moderated last year? You did a brilliant job. You know that David's predictions come.
I actually went back to my session with him when the year ended, to look at some of the things.
So can you tell your audience some of the things that have happened? I'm now interviewing.
When people do testimony time, they usually, you want me to give testimony? You have to give me offering. I mean, look, interesting. We didn't allow David to predict the Ghana election. That was the only thing he didn't do. But in terms of global, for example, he predicted that the Chinese BYD was going to dominate the electronic car space. He spoke about SpaceX and some of the things Elon Musk would do. He also said that if Trump, he gave a condition though. He said at the time we did the prediction, there were a lot of prosecutions. So he said if Trump got on the nomination, he was going to win. But of course that depended on if he got on, because at the time he was not yet the nominee. But he said he was also going to take over the Republican Party. So he says if Trump gets on nomination, it's not just going to be. He says in 2016 Trump was an outsider, and now he's the insider. So he said a lot of things about the US election. He said a few things about China and African countries and the year of election, a lot of things, which he claims is not a prophet. But I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
He claims he's not. He claims he's doing he's whatever. But he has a prophetic anointing. Just doesn't know.
He says he looks into the crystal ball. So based on historical data, trends happening, and what he thinks about the future, and a bit.
It will be interesting because you have some questions for him to deal with.
Very well. I trust you to ask him the tough questions.
So Augustina, you said we can call 0509 411 336.
Yes.
And talk to Grace. Yes. But registration ends today.
At midday.
Midday. All right. Thank you, Augustina. Any closing words from you?
Please register to attend Crystal Ball. The good news is it is free. People should attend to get insight into what will happen into the new year. Into the year 2025. So we encourage business leaders especially to attend this event. Thank
Pauline Anaman is an associate Arabian Beirut Africa Practice Group Coordinator for Green Transition and Sustainability. Augustina Dan Brima is an associate for the Practice Group on Banking and Finance. Sure. And they're both here to talk about the big one, Crystal Ball 2025. Thank you guys for being on the show. Now, Caleb, luckily for us, we're told we can do effective living series today.
Yes, Bernard. I sat with Naoyo Kote. We talked about resetting your cooking habits for a healthy family. It's interesting. My conversation with her got me cooking over the weekend.
Resetting your cooking habits.
Yeah, and I planned my meal too for the week.
So amazing. So let's get into that. For now, we'll cross over later to Parliament when the vetting starts.
Hello and welcome to Effective Living Series 2025. My name is Caleb Kuda. This is week 3 and we are looking at resetting your personal health in week 3. And on this particular session, I'm looking at healthy cooking, resetting your cooking habits for a healthy family. Who's my guest? Naoyo Kote. She is a food consultant, digital creator, and a home chef. So in the next 10 minutes, she'll be taking us through an overview of her presentation. Thereafter, we'll sit down with her and have a tete-a-tete, walk through practically how we can reset our cooking habits. My name is Caleb Kuda, and Effective Living Series is brought to you by Hallmark Cafe, delight in every sip and bite. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Naoyo Kote.
I know you have started 2025 with a lot of energy and vim and goals set for the year. How are you going to be able to eat healthy? Well, you are going to have to first start with healthy cooking. And for me, I always tell people that, listen, if you want to learn how to cook healthy, it starts with the mind, right? So we all need that mindset of how to learn to cook healthier for ourselves, our children, our grandparents, basically the entire family. Healthy cooking really, really matters, and we need to take it seriously because now all our work schedules have shifted. We are not working like we used to work in the past, right? Now a lot of us are working sedentary kind of lifestyles. We go to the office, we sit down, and we are sitting for like 3-4 hours maximum, even more than that. And a lot of us are not eating properly. A lot of us are not cooking properly because we say we don't have the time. But why is healthy cooking important? Why does it matter? Basically, you are cooking to promote the healthy growth and development of children from the time they are in your stomach as a new mom, through birth, and then childhood. Like I said, we are looking at healthy cooking for all ages. So when a baby is in your stomach, you want to make sure that your baby is eating the right food. So what are you cooking at home to provide your child with the right nutrition? Healthy cooking also ensures that you are boosting your energy and you are having all the positive and the good nutrients that your body needs. So the core principles of healthy cooking is your balanced meal must contain whole foods, fruits, vegetables, fresh herbs and spices, whole fibers like oats, your millets, fonio, sorghum, right? All these nutrients must come together in your healthy cooking. And the techniques. So techniques is the main thing. So you have the nutrition bits, you have all your fruits and vegetables there, but what technique are you using to cook? A lot of our meals take too long to get ready. Some of our stews, we overcook a lot of things. We overcook our fishes. Our fishes are too crispy. We've taken out all the nutrients. You know, we've cooked our meats. The meats are so hard. The wile is too hard. And we've killed all the nutrients in these things. So healthier cooking techniques like steaming, like grilling, all these things we are going to look at very shortly. And then we are minimizing the consumption of overly processed foods. So some foods that we find on the shelves, or they are easy to grab and we eat, they are overly processed because a lot of them are made in the factories, and the factories, they are taking out all the nutrients from the food and they are putting it on the shelf for you. So we have to minimize that as well. So like I said earlier, there's the cooking techniques. We have steaming, baking, and grilling. So these are healthier techniques you can do at home for your different dishes. So for women, when you have fish, fish is rich in omega-3 and also in calcium as well. So every woman needs to increase their calcium and proteins for themselves. Also steam your stir-fried greens. So you have your cabbage, you have your alefi, you have your kale, all that. You have to stir-fry them and saute them. More men are going to the gym nowadays, you know, so you need to eat more lean proteins. These proteins, you want to make sure you're not overcooking them. You are steaming them, or you are sauteing or grilling in the oven, okay? So when you are working out, your protein must be cooked properly. Eat more whole fiber foods for digestion, more oats, more fruits and vegetables, and also limit the size of your carbohydrates. And for our elders as well, this is also the same way. We are looking at the same techniques of grilling, for them, you want to make sure that the food has a softer density because of their teeth, and also to have more vitamin D rich foods that will reduce the risk of osteoporosis. To cook healthier, it's an intention. You have to plan for it so that, you know, your family gets all the benefits of the nutritious meals. Healthy cooking is really about balance, intentional choices, and fresher ingredients.
I'm sure by now you know that now Yokote I'm talking about is not your school, madam, on 97.3 Citi FM, but the food consultant. The other one also likes food, though. Oh, so there's a thing you can talk about now, Yokote. Oh, you like food, eh?
No.
Okay.
No. I think we are Wednesday born, and then we also there's some connection.
There's some connection in the food. Yeah. I also like food. Okay, so I enjoy food, but thinking about one of the most difficult decisions to make in a day is what to eat, man. It's really difficult. I want to ask you, for adults who are very busy schedule with this urban craze and all of that, how do we plan our meals so that, what's the hack to planning your meals?
Yes, so
now
that's actually
like cooking it. Yeah.
So that's actually the hack. It takes time, but like if you are resetting means that inculcating new habits, healthy habits, right? So it's a mind shift. You have to tell your mind that, you know what, this is what I intend to do, and it has to be intentional. If you're not intentional about it, you can't do it. By the time I realize you're falling off, that's why so many people have like resolutions for the new year, and by February, I told you.
No, but the food one is very
hard. It's not hard. If you love good food, like you say, And if you love your body, and your body is your temple, trust me, you'll find a way.
They say we are what we eat.
I don't know about that, but honestly, look, if you have a busy schedule, right, you have to, at least the weekend, when you don't have a wedding or a funeral, and even if you have a wedding and a funeral, please don't stay so long at these events.
Like,
people spend the whole day.
There's almost something to be done every weekend, like 2 funerals, one wedding.
You don't have to spend the whole day at the funeral. You know, at least 2 hours, come home and cook for the week.
There's traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, you're driving.
Yes. So meal planning is really important. You know, it helps you to put your different things together. So for example, you shop healthier, so you get to slow down. Okay. You know that, okay, I need these vegetables, I need these fruits, I can buy these nuts and these seeds, and then this is what I'm cooking for the week. And you can easily, now with your phone, you can easily create like a meal plan, or even ask AI to create a meal plan. Yes. So
you have a meal plan.
Yes.
What I'll eat in the week.
Yes.
Oh, we eat as a way, no.
No, it's really important so that you know what you're putting in your body. Because one, listen, nowadays there's a lot of allergies that's going around. People are becoming allergic to all kinds of things. So if you know what you're putting into your body, you know exactly, once you plan them, you know that, oh, is this thing that I've been eating that's giving me the allergy? Then you can take it out. You know, so meal planning is so important for professionals. And trust me, it has long-term benefits. So I'm not looking at like, oh, I'm full. No, you're looking at the long term, because one, now there's a lot of talk on lifestyle diseases.
Yeah, non-communicable diseases.
Exactly, and a lot of them have to do with our food's been having too much sugar, too much salt, right? And it's causing hypertension. So when you meal plan, you are more mindful of what you're putting into your food.
I want to start with the kids, my nieces and nephews. Right. They can be really picky.
Oh, yeah.
You're lucky to have those who eat everything. But some of them, they say juice. They love the juice.
And sausage.
And
the juice. And fries.
They will cry until you give them that. How do you manage the juice?
So, you see, the reason why they ask for the packed juice is the sugar. And it's too much.
And it gives them too much energy.
Too much energy and makes them hyperactive. And actually, it affects their studies at school. Did you know that? We didn't know that. Because a lot of these sugary drinks are actually having preservatives. That is not good for our children. They have phthalates in them. These are like chemicals that are affecting our children, because a lot of the juices are in plastic bottles. These bottles are made from, harmful plastics. Wow. So please, we need to make juices at home if they love juice. Orange is easy to make. Orange juice, that's so easy. You have a juicer, just squeeze the orange into small bottles and pack it or freeze it. So you can always give it to them at any time. And also like make smoothie popsicles for them. Just blend it. Back in the day we used to have all these like cocoa drink, and then we put sticks in them, and then
or something as simple as that.
Yeah, but just blend the fruits and then make the popsicles.
It takes, many of them don't like the vegetables too. They don't like the greens.
They don't want to see it. My daughter is like that.
What should their mothers do? What are you doing?
So, what am I doing? So, for me, like Sunday evenings, that's the time I cook for the week. When I'm making her tomato stew, I add some minced beef for the protein, right? And when you have minced beef, it makes your life very easy. So you can make minced meatballs, you can make beef patties like it's a burger style, right? And then you sneak in the carrots, blend the carrots with the tomatoes, right? So when you make the tomatoes, you've added some carrots to it. Now you have beta carotene in there. It's rich, and they'll not see it, but they are eating it.
The children today, because when we're young, banku for the morning, banku in the afternoon,
you eat it by heart. Now they have more choices and variety.
So how do you how do you also make sure that in giving meals, in preparing the meals for your children, you use indigenous ingredients so that the kids don't get too used to, they want pizzas, they want shawarmas, they want all those kinds of things?
So it takes gradual introduction, and sometimes, honestly, sometimes I use a bit of threat. If you don't eat your stew, no screen time for you, and it works. So you introduce it to them gradually. So like the plantains, the cocoyam, sweet potatoes, which is very good in vitamin A.
Sweet potatoes.
Oh, I'm telling you. So you fry it or you boil it or you steam it, it's good for the kids.
Okay.
So all these things are rich in, you know, the different minerals and
Let's
vitamins.
talk about their fathers, their mothers, their uncles, right?
Right.
The young adults now.
Yeah.
We usually will eat when we feel hungry because there's always a lot of work, so many deadlines, and sometimes people are eating in traffic while they are moving.
I've seen it.
And all of that.
Yeah.
We are not even talking eating, we are talking cooking.
Yeah.
Charlie.
And unfortunately, a lot of them are eating outside. So what you are talking about is food they bought from the roadside.
Because it's hard, man.
It's not hard.
It's hard to cook from home.
It's not hard at all, trust me. It's not hard at all. To put vegetables together, then you add more onions, more garlic, and then what? You eat it with some pasta, you eat it with brown rice. It's very easy.
I see.
You know, so once again, look, we need to move or have a shift around our mindset when it comes to cooking at home. So young adults, like I said, meal plan and put the food in your fridge or your freezer. You know, if it's yam, for example, you can just chop it up, freeze it over the week, and then you'll be frying in small batches. That's not difficult.
Also because people have allergies and all. Sometimes when you buy the wache, today
Honestly,
the salt is too much,
the
another day the
salt
pepper, another time the oil is so much.
Honestly, so the oil and the salt content in foods nowadays, because a lot of the spices they are putting into our food, you can't even say that, oh, this is nkiti or this is rosemary. It's all mixed with strange things. And that's what's leading to a lot of these lifestyle diseases. You know, so when you cook at home, you know what you're putting in your own food.
Right.
You get to control the amount of sugar and salt that you're putting in there.
So you mentioned healthy cooking techniques, and I want us to take a very quick break, take a message from Hallmark Cafe, and then when we return, we'll talk about some of the techniques that makes cooking a bit more fun to those who are not very big on cooking, and then we'll see how we can improve our cooking outcomes for the year. Stay with us.
This is your chance to be served by a robot at Accra's premier destination for fine dining, Hallmark Cafe, located in Jowolu, just after the Allied filling station. It's the perfect spot for delectable pastries, desserts, hot and cold beverages, as well as a variety of continental and local dishes to satisfy your cravings. Enjoy convenient staff lunch services, expert kitchen management, and outdoor event hosting. Here, simply press a button and your waitress will be at your table in no time. Visit Hallmark Cafe today and experience the future of fine dining. Call us now at 053-7344-095 to make your reservation. Hallmark Cafe. Delight in every sip and bite.
Welcome from that break. This is Effective Living Series on 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 Television. We are resetting our cooking habits for healthy families on today's episode, and my guest is Naoyo Kote. She's a food consultant, digital creator, and a home chef. So I have a confession. Someone gave me a challenge, gave me tilapia and said, look, if you're able to finish this in 3 months, I'm going to clap for you. That's it, also day fridge. I mean, they stress me. What are some of the techniques for cooking, healthy cooking, that can make cooking more fun? And
so when we switch how we cook, for example, with the tilapia example, so instead of frying it the way we usually fry it, you can grill it, right? So grilling on a pan, but like very little oil, right, would ensure that all the nutrients are kept in the fish. Or you can steam it. So steaming, just put a small saucepan on fire with some water. Put your colander on top of the saucepan, and then season your fish and put the fish in the colander. So with the steaming, the steam just cooks the fish and then keeps all the nutrients. Nothing is lost. And for example, you want to cook yam. We tend to boil yam in the water, and then we throw the water away. All the nutrients goes with it. But if we steam yam, if we steam our rice, which we usually do in the rice cooker, right? Or if we steam cocoyam, for example, everything stays in there. So we have to learn how to steam food more.
Okay. So steaming is a more healthier.
It's healthier, and grilling too is good. I mean, you buy grilled tilapia by the roadside, but you can also grill at home.
Right.
If you have an oven, just put the fish in there, and it's better for you.
Okay. So that works. Let's look at the senior citizens at home now.
Yeah.
So less salt.
Yes.
And less oil. And if you're cooking for a family that has all the generations, you have very young ones, you have those who like their meals spicy, and you have the older ones who... How do you do all that?
You just have to manage and balance. You can actually give steamed foods to children. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it gets them accustomed to the different types of cooking. So with the seniors like this, because of their health, you know, you want to make sure that you are keeping salt and sugar very low, right? And you are grilling and baking more than you are frying or deep frying oil. You know, you don't want to do that. And you want to give them more vitamins. So, for example, you are giving them like baobab juice, orange juice, etc.
Baobab juice?
Oh, yeah. Very rich in vitamin C. So, you are giving them, you know, healthier options than the usual that we give them. So, maybe you are making a light soup. So, instead of like pork feet light soup, you are giving them like dry fish light soup, you know. Exactly,
like
yes.
But the dry fish is expensive.
Think long term. So with the when it comes to health, you have to think long term. Because you want to extend their lifespan. Sorry?
They cost too much.
Oh, that one, the round ones are expensive. But I think long term.
Okay, so we should think long term and try
for
and balance
health benefits.
and try and sort out everyone within the family in that manner. Let's talk about fruits. There are fruits in season.
Yes.
Some people don't like some fruits, but how do we handle fruits so that we can incorporate them into our meals?
So with fruits, you know, you can actually grill fruits. You can actually grill pineapple and mango.
Oh wow.
Yes. Oh yes, it is delicious.
So like dry fruits, eh?
No, fresh mango and fresh pineapple.
Then you grill them?
You grill it. If they serve this to you at one of the high-end restaurants, you eat.
Yes,
exactly.
But how do I do that?
But it's easy. Like if you have a grill, you know that even with a coal pot and that metal grill, you just add a little salt to the pineapple, little, and just grill it. Little, very, very little. It's a seasoning, or you can add some chili. You know, so fruits are in season. We can puree this, you know, as a smoothie. Add some banana, add some yogurt, blend this in the morning. And sometimes it's filling. So you realize that when you have that before lunchtime or as breakfast, you don't have to eat so much during your lunch period.
Okay.
You get it because you already have that filling you already. You know.
See. During the holidays, I had a conversation with a naturopath who talks more about how the foods we eat can either heal us or actually break us down and all of that. So I want you to also repeat, right, for example, the kind of meals we are eating or how we cook them that makes the meals we eat dangerous to us, and how the healthier options to same.
Yeah, so for example, our tomato stews, I mean, Ghanaian food is made mainly of tomato stew, right? So we tend to overcook the tomato stew, and it kills all the nutrients in there. We should use less time to cook the tomatoes, right? And also what you can also do is you can steam the tomatoes before you make it into a stew, right? And also you can roast the tomatoes. You know, like our generations back, we used to roast the tomatoes on coal pots before we yam it to make the abom and all that. Why did we stop that? We can actually do that because roasting too gives it more flavor and keeps all the nutrients in there. Nothing is lost. So with contomere like this, when we are making contomere stew, we tend to put the contomere in water and then we throw away the water. That's all the nutrients we are throwing away.
After we've boiled it?
Yeah, and that's what people do. Or the apim and everything. So what you can do is you steam the contomere in the colander with the apim, right? So the steaming keeps all the nutrients in there. Nothing is lost. And you can still make your contomere stew.
How do we become mindful so that our cultural addictions or what we have known does not come in the way of healthier cooking techniques or options?
So for example, let's look at aprapansan, for example, right? We are literally adding Tom Brown to palm nut soup, which is a great thing because you are learning how to reuse leftovers.
Right.
If you think about it, it's just leftovers and then we add it and then we have a new dish. So you are just literally balancing the salt content.
Right.
You know, you're not adding more salt to what you're cooking, because one, the soup is already salty. Right, because you've cooked it over time and then you add it. Yes. We have to learn how to control the amount of salt and pepper that we cook with in Ghana, example. Because pepper for me, it overwhelms the entire dish. So you can't even taste the suya kebab, the chichinga. It's too spicy. I'm like, so it just overwhelms everything, and you think you're actually having something tasty, but you're not. It's just spicy food.
If we keep at the level of salt we consume, oils we consume,
it's too much,
and pepper we consume, what are the risks?
Oh, you can have heart issues. Now there's carcinogens in some of the ingredients that people are using to cook. So for example, the spices I mentioned, some of them have carcinogens, some of them have MSGs, etc., and all that. And people are not reading the labels of these things when they buy them. You know, so it leads to like heart issues, allergies, for example, and all kinds of things. So basically, you want to make sure that whatever you're cooking with, you know what you're buying. You know that, okay, I'm not going to buy this salt cube and put it in my food. Or I'm going to use more of garlic, I'm going to use more of onions, I'm going to use more fresh basil and parsley, because these actually enhance the flavor. So then you not need so much salt.
Do we have an advantage when we do backyard garden, so that then if we're going to be doing a lot of the cooking, then we have some of these things, vegetables, right from our backyard, and have
I wish we could pass it as a law. You know, Operation Feed Yourself. Like, why can't we bring that back? But now everybody is concreting their house, so there's no space to grow cocoyam and maize like we used to. You know, and I think it should become, with a new minister, you know, he should start thinking around some of these things.
You have some suggestions.
You know, because look at the price of food right now. But if you have a backyard garden, you save so much money. You know, and even as part of your budget, you know, because now you can cut back on buying food and just focus on the one in the house.
We're going to be wrapping up soon, but I see that for a lot of young people in particular, the only time we take our eating seriously is after we've had a major health breakdown. And then we decide to become more deliberate about how we eat, when we eat, how much we eat. And often too, we eat because we are hungry and it tastes nice, but we don't eat for protein, nutrient, what be that? So in conclusion, I want us to talk about why it's important we take our health seriously, and especially our cooking, so that we don't pay too hefty a price before we start learning our lessons.
I recently posted on X that if you think fruits and vegetables are expensive, try a hospital bill. No, because we have to learn to think long term. You know, you can't wait and not be proactive about what you're putting into your body. You know, one thing about illness and disease is that one, it can either be chronic or active, because chronic builds up over years. So the more you're eating a certain thing, or the more you're drinking soda, it's just accumulating. It gets to a point, your body can't take it. And then it leads to a sickness. It leads to something that's irreversible. If you're lucky, it can be reversed or cured. You know, so it's really about balance and intention and making right choices for yourself. You can't wait on other people to make the choice for you. You have to make the choice for yourself. You know, if you can make choice about your future partner, or like, oh, this is the person I'm dating, why not, you know, food, you know, food that you are eating and putting into your own body. So it has to be a decision, a personal choice for you.
No, Coach, there is so much we can talk about.
There's so much.
But this has been a very inspiring one, gingering us to take control over what we eat and be careful and more mindful about what goes into our body through food. And so we appreciate that you came. But in introducing you, I said that you're a home chef. What does that mean? You come to my house and cook for me, or what?
So usually I cook for people, you know. Like somebody is having an event, I cater and all that. I also create content on my YouTube. So you search for Now Your Kwase, you have so many healthy recipes there that you can look at and try at home as well.
So PK, one of our cameramen, is a big man. You know, he's been admiring you, listening to you. He wants you to cook so that he can. So how do I do that? How do you do that?
So we'll talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So. Now you're quite. It's unfortunate you didn't bring some of the food you have.
I wanted to. I didn't know what you like. I didn't even know what you like to bring. If I bring something, then Kala will be like, hey, what is this?
Some Jack will just be okay.
What?
Oh, no. So where can we find you? Give us your final words before we part.
Okay, so we are located in Osu. Okay. And you can find us on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. I have a lot of recipes people can follow because I really love to raise the awareness around our leafy greens, what vitamins and minerals we can get from them, how to cook with them. Because I mentioned the lack of knowledge is one of the barriers to healthy cooking. So follow me and get to know how to use these ingredients that would boost your health. It's really important.
Okay, after this conversation, I'm going to finally try that tilapia in the fridge. I'm going to cook it, I'm sure.
Just send me a WhatsApp and I'll show you exactly how to go.
I'll send you pictures of the final outcome.
You will enjoy it. Make some hot
Now Kote. Yes. Thank you. We've been talking to Now Kote. She is a food content creator. She is a home chef. She came and we've been talking about a lot of food, but she didn't bring any food at all. But thank you. She brought a lot of food for thoughts.
Thank you
for listening to us on Effective Living Series, researching healthy cooking habits for a healthy home. My name is Caleb Good. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for listening. See you on the next. So that was our conversation with Now Yokote. Again, not your school madam who just walked into the studio. They all like food, like I said. But that's how we end the show. Now Yokote will take over your radio shortly. My name is Caleb. Look forward to the vetting later this morning that will be coming your way from Parliament. We'll be bringing you analysis and comprehensive coverage. Earlier you heard Bernardino Kokuavle, Godfred Akotobuafo was here with Samuel Atamens and Samans. Show was produced by Fred Tete Jabano, Sheba Araba Beni, Samuel Akom, Edwin Kwaukofi. Thank you, gentlemen and lady. Godfred Odum, the richest man. Many thanks to you. Thank you for doing the listening. Stay with us. Have a blessed morning.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Citi 97.3. More variety.